Good evening and welcome to your Northern Gunners Gonna Get You podcast with myself, Lewis Roper, Matthew Simkis and Tom Mason. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you, mate, especially after the weekend's results.
Yes, it was good, wasn't it? And how are you, Tom?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks, mate. Yeah, really positive, really happy.
Yeah, no, we're feeling good. I mean, I just want to apologise to the listeners that we haven't done, a podcast in a while. Life takes over sometimes, and we have missed a couple of games, but it'd be good to summarise and have a good chat about them now, really, wouldn't it? So let's crack on. I mean, we'll start, like I say, with a couple of games that we did miss. It was Burnley away and then Wimbledon at home in the Cup. So, I mean, we'll start with Burnley away, Matt. A nice 1-0 win and an Odegaard free kick.
Yeah, so the goal was nice, and it's difficult to talk about this because if this was before the Spurs game, I'd probably been quite negative still because a lot of the Spurs game, a lot of the Burnley game, it was still wasn't really clicking. Like there was large parts of the game where I thought Burnley were the better team, and we were hanging on. The one positive was the way that the team dug in for each other, and you really saw that camaraderie come through, which sort of says to me that the team and the manager are all together. Like all this talk of maybe Arteta losing the dressing room. When you see performances like that Gabriel put in that game and Tini and Ramsdale, it just don't come across like that. And it gets, I suppose, in one way that is positive.
100%. I mean, what did you think, Tom, about the Burnley game, the bits that you saw?
Yeah, obviously good to get the win. Like Matt said, it was good to see them battling against Burnley. They're known for their physicality and the way they play football. And we stood up well to the challenge. Tomiyasu, brilliant. Gabriel, White, Ramsdale, all the back, the back four and the goalkeeper were immense. And again, like Matt said, the team, you could see they were really playing for the manager. They were really up for the fight, which sort of dispels any sort of rumours that Arteta had lost the dressing room. So it was really good to see that, really good.
And it is a difficult place to go. I always forget that. It's not like you can go to Burnley and expect to win. It is a tough place to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to be at the game, and like I say, it was, it wasn't the best performance, but, we dug in and got a result. And I mean, I think Burnley had 46 crosses into the box.
Yeah.
And I think we dealt with it very well. I mean, there was one little tiny bit with Ben White's back pass, and Ramsdale got the good VAR call for the no penalty. But apart from that, now you dug in, we got the win. And then it rolled on to Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup. A nice 3-0 win. I mean, really, we couldn't see it because it wasn't televised or on the streams either, legal streams. But yeah, I mean, I saw the goals that were scored. Nketiah scored a very good goal there as well. And it was just really a walk in the park, that Wimbledon game. It felt a bit like just a pre-season and to get everyone match fit. I mean, what do you two think?
Yeah, I think it was good. Some players that maybe aren't going to start regularly got to run out and progress in the Cup. I think any sort of success we can get this year, even if it's winning the Carabao Cup, I think it's a positive. So, yeah, pleased with it.
Yeah, it was like you say, it was good minutes for certain players, wasn't it? Thomas Partey obviously played an hour and got some more minutes under his belt that set him up well for the North London derby. Nketiah scored a good goal. Strange he sort of started though instead of Balogun. I was quite surprised by that, but yeah, it's good. A win's a win, and it builds momentum, it builds confidence, and yeah, I think it helps us going into the Tottenham game, definitely.
Yeah, no matter, you can only beat what you got in front of you, and no matter who you beat, it builds a little bit of confidence every time.
Yeah.
And we draw Leeds at home in the next round, so I'm fairly confident. If we get the draws like that, I think Leeds won't be really pushing for that. So I think they might put out a weaker team, which will put us. I think we'll win comfortably again.
I hope so, because I think with us not having European football this year, I think we should go. Well, obviously not for the Premier League. I don't think we're there yet, but why not go for both domestic cups? I think we're capable of winning them in one-off games against other teams.
Yeah, and then from there, the picture looks a little bit brighter as well, doesn't it? Like you say, we're climbing up the table, gaining a bit of confidence. And then, let's talk about the Spurs game. Good day out for us, wasn't it, on the well, not even the Tetley bus anymore.
The no brand bus.
Yeah.
There's a luxury line of that, mate.
Yeah.
Compared to the bus.
My knees weren't touching the seat in front, it's good days.
Yeah.
Back seat, we enjoyed the trip there. We enjoy the Coronet when we go there as well. It's cheap beer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can't be 12 quid around.
The atmosphere all day was cracking as well. From in the pub to in the concourse at the ground, getting a drink in the ground to the stands. It was just constant noise, constant singing. It was great day.
Yeah, so we'll start on the atmosphere then. So, Matt, you've already said there, Tom, when we got to the pub, it was quite lively, wasn't it? And then it just seemed to carry on all day. Like, it just seemed very, very different to what the Emirates and Arsenal are about, really. You don't normally see that.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Best atmosphere I've experienced at the Emirates, I'd say. Like you say, in the pub beforehand, everybody, there was just a feeling around it. It was a different feel. I don't know whether that's because it's been such a long time since fans have been able to go to a North London derby or what, but there was definitely a different feeling going around. Everyone was up for it. Everyone was singing. It was just really positive as well.
It was almost like something out of a film.
Yeah, it was quite surreal, really. It was it was good though. I mean, that's what you want every game to be like. Obviously, the fans were up for it because it was a North London derby, and possibly the 2-for-1 beer at the Emirates helps. Helps with the atmosphere.
Even though we missed it by a minute.
Yeah. So, but no, like I said, best atmosphere I've experienced at the Emirates. Definitely, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it reminded me some of the real good times at Arbury. That it was that good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the chanting in the concourse as well. I mean, that chant stuck in my head. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. You can literally just chant that all week.
1 minute.
It's a good job we're doing this on the Friday, like 5 days later, because I don't think I'd have been able to speak properly any earlier.
Yeah.
No, that was definitely good.
Days.
And even Tom got a half and half scarf. So
yeah, he loved it. It's on his wall.
I got an half and half scarf.
Scandal at the Emirates. Get your scarf. Get your match day scarf.
Someone will have bought one. Someone will have bought match day scarves, half and half scarves.
I did see a couple of people with half and half scarves, but we'll let the women off, don't we? But yeah, just going into the game then. So that is the first half. That is the best half of football I've ever seen Arsenal play in person, watching a game. But since maybe Chelsea on that Boxing Day,
I think it's even better than that. I think I was speaking to my mate Neil, who does the Purely Arsenal podcast, and I was saying to him, I honestly think that's the best I've seen Arsenal play, going even as far back as 2009, the season Eduardo got injured. I think that's how long we've been waiting for a first half like that.
Yeah, it was really good, wasn't it? Really good. Tottenham, the fans, the players, they were shell-shocked by how it was the intensity from the start, I think, which just blew them away. They couldn't live with us, the movement, the pressing. Odegaard, the way he leads the press, he's not just got ability, but the work ethic on the man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and
love to see the stats on the ground he covered. It was just all over the place. Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, when people compare him to Ozil, he does so much more than Ozil did for us in his latter years.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think Thomas Partey as well, you saw the best of him. Coming back from injury, and he just dominated that midfield. Like, that was like when he played against Manchester United last season. He's just so good, and I'm so glad that we actually got Thomas Partey, because he would have had better offers on the table, but it may be the pull of Arsenal, like we said. If he stays fit, I think he's going to drive us back up to, I think this season top 6. I'd like that, but I think he's going to be one of our key players, 100%.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. But I'm a firm believer that Partey and Jack bring the best out in each other. I think that's the best midfield partnership we've got.
Yeah, I think Xhaka played well. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate that he's now injured for 2 or 3 months, isn't it? But I thought Xhaka had a good game, to be honest. He was disciplined. He played a bit more forward as well, didn't he?
I think that brings the best out of him, though, when he's not relied on to sort of be the pivot or the holding midfielder. I think when he's given that bit more freedom, I think you do see the better side of him.
And I just think, all in all, Tomiyasu coming into the club has really, really steadied our defence. I just want to say that because he's winning everything in the air. He's very quick. He's very powerful as well. He had Son in his back pocket all game. Apart from, like, say, Son did score, but I'll say the majority of the game, Tomiyasu had him in his pocket.
Yeah, I mean, really, I didn't. There was never a point when I was watching the game where I was worried for our lead. I mean, I was naturally nervous because it was an North London derby, and we've sort of been used to Arsenal not being amazing over the last couple of years. But if you just sat and watched them play and took the emotion out of it, you really didn't feel threatened by Tottenham at the weekend.
No, we looked solid, didn't we? We did look solid, like you say. Tomiyasu has made a massive difference down that right hand side, not just defensively, but going forward as well. Yeah. Offensively, he's obviously when we signed him, a lot of people were like, "I've not really heard of him." I admit myself, I didn't really know a lot about him other than YouTube videos. So it was, interesting to see what he's brought to the team. It reminds me a lot of Monreal. I think he's going to be a steady 7 and 8 out of 10 week in, week out, which is something we really need. A consistent performer who's going to be, rock solid defensively, good going forward, good in the air, just a proper pro.
It just seems very solid at every aspect of his game, doesn't he?
Yeah. So far, I can't really see a weakness. Obviously, it's only been a couple of games. I'm sure he's got one, but it's definite improvement on, obviously, Chambers and Suarez.
Yeah. And he's
100%.
Seems very, very, very good stamina and very physically fit as well, which is a bonus. Similar to Tina, he can bomb forward all day, can get back all day. Yeah.
Do you think that's like his ethnicity, like where he's from and how he's played? Do you think he's one of them players that has to prove how good he is to get a move, like it is to Arsenal?
I think there's something to that culture because already in all of his interviews, he's very critical of his own performances and he's always talking about pride and wanting to strive to get better. So I suppose there's an element of that maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I think 100% he's going to get a lot better. And as well, I want to say I was a critic of Ramsdale when we signed him. I was a critic when we signed him. But the games that I've seen again, he could be our number one for a very, very long time.
Oh yeah,
I think
no doubt.
His passion every time Gabriel made a block on Ben White, he's go over there to hug him. And I ain't seen a keeper like that as well in ages.
No,
honestly,
but that whole sort of Gabriel, Tierney, White, Tomiyasu, Ramsdale, all sort of like just celebrating a good clearance, a good tackle. I mean, that's like having Mike Keane, like similar to Mike Keane, what he used to be, or Bold or Adams, a good tackle, moving the line forward and getting a good offside. I mean, that they celebrate them things, and it's good that they've got the passion to do that.
Yeah, it's great to see, isn't it? for a defender, keeping a clean sheet and putting in a performance, it's like obviously a forward probably scoring an hat-trick, and the way that having the passion to keep the ball out of the net, I love to see it. Love to see the camaraderie amongst them as well. Like you say, it's just they're a unit. They need to play matches together, build an understanding. All the best defensive units over the years have had an understanding amongst themselves, and obviously Ramsdale's a big part of that as well. You can see his character, massive character on the kid. Considering he's only 23. He's got the character of a 30-year-old who's played 100 caps for the country. Really impressed with him, really impressed.
And he plays
as well. He's been called back up to England now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's in the England squad again. So
yeah, Well
he's
deserved.
being watched. Yeah, he's being watched, like I say. And when you look on it as a whole, the actual recruitment this season, it's gone a lot better than what a lot of us expected, myself included. I think they're starting to play more as a team and actually want to work for the team as well, which we've been lacking recently. I mean, Tomiyasu compared to Bellerin, miles better. Odegaard in for Ozil, a lot better. Ramsdale, like you say. And then Ben White and Gabriella are two solid centre-backs. And Sambi Lokonga as well. He's a very good player. So I think the recruitment's been good. I just think we just need a couple more and we'll be back to where we should be, really.
And there's a lot of room for development in this team as well. I mean, there's players, I mean, even people like Rob Holding and that have got room for improvement. I mean, if you look at our bench against Spurs, it was a strong bench. It was like you had people on the bench that could come in, do a solid job at the back, could come in and hold their own in midfield and could come on and make a difference up front. So really, the team and the squad's in a much better position than I actually felt it was at the start of the season after that Brentford defeat, the Chelsea game, and the Man City game. It probably wasn't as bleak as we thought, and now that everybody's fit, and really this is the first sort of 3 games where Arteta's actually got 11 players of his choosing on the pitch.
Yeah, and like I say, we are playing a lot better. I mean, we've got Brighton tomorrow, 5:30. What are you thinking about in regards to that? Because Brighton are playing well this season under Graham Potter.
He's a wizard.
Drew 1-1 with Crystal Palace, yeah. I mean, you really like him, don't you, Matt, to be honest?
Not as much as Tom, but yeah, I do like him. He's a good manager. He's getting a lot out of. Don't want to sound derisory or harsh, but it's a very average side, and he's getting a lot out of them.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, what do you think about tomorrow?
I think it'll be a tough game. Like I say, Brighton are flying high. Potter's got them playing really well. The players that he's got there, they're not household names, but he seems to be forming a really good team. And even when you look last season, I think in a lot of games they were pretty unlucky. They just couldn't put the ball in the net. Seems to be doing that this year. So I'm expecting it to be a tough game. I've heard a little rumour that Bissouma's got a late fitness test, so I'm hoping he'll be missing because he's a key player for him. Be interesting to see if Arteta puts the same team out as against Spurs. Obviously, Mana, Xhaka. I think Lokonga will come in for him. Wonder whether he maybe rotate Saka out for Pepe. Be interesting to see what he does with the team.
Yeah, Matt, I mean, how do you think we'll line up against Brighton tomorrow?
I don't know. I don't really think we should go much different than we did against Spurs. I mean, we shouldn't. It's tough because when you think of Arsenal, you don't think they're the sort of team that should be going into a game that's changing massively the way they play for the opposition. Unless you're against the elite teams, I suppose. But I do think it'll be a harder game than it was against Tottenham because I think, like you say, Brighton are firing, they're very settled. There's a lot of problems at Tottenham. Kane doesn't know if he wants to be there. Maybe they should have sold him. Got a lot of injury. They've got a few injuries, I suppose. I don't think the squad's as good as it needs to be at Spurs. So I think in many ways the Spurs game was probably easier. But I still fancy us to get 1-0 or 2-1 win, maybe. I don't think we'll get beat, but I think it's going to be a different sort of game. But I think we'll go very similar. Xhaka's not there, so maybe we'll go 4-3-3 and put Odegaard, Partey and Lokonga maybe in midfield. But I think the front three, if it's fit, should stay the same. I think Smith-rowe, Alba and Saka were very good. And I don't think there's a reason to change that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles might get a call instead of Lokonga, because he's seeming to use him at the moment. I think this could be a very good game for him. to be honest, in the centre of midfield.
He's,
I mean,
he's,
what do you think about the Ainsley U10, where now he's getting subbed on every game or used every game?
I like Maitland-Niles. I think he's got a lot to offer. I just worry about his attitude sometimes, maybe. I think when he was playing right wing back, when we won the FA Cup, and he was playing really well, and then he booted off about wanting to be a midfielder. I just think if he's happy to be used as and when we need him, I think he's got a lot to offer the team. It's just whether or not he'll be comfortable with that, I think.
Yeah, I think he's a good player. I've always thought there's a very good player in there. He's one of them people who suffers from not really having a set position. He's never really sort of anchored himself in any position, be it right back, midfield. He's even played left back for us on occasion. I know he wants to play centre midfield, but to be honest with you, is he going to be displacing Xhaka and Partey when they're both fit? I don't think he is. He's probably even behind Lokonga in the pecking order there. So I think he's just got to sort of think of himself as a utility player, which there's nothing wrong with. You can make a good career out of being a utility player. I mean,
look at
think of the
Flamini.
likes. Yeah, that's what I mean. Phil Neville, obviously at United over the years, you can make a good career, but I think if he wants a centre midfield position, he's going to struggle to get it at Arsenal.
Yeah, he's going to have to drop down to maybe, I don't know, maybe not Championship level, but definitely
lower Premier League, maybe.
Yeah,
but I think he'll struggle to. I like him. I don't
he'd
think
probably
there's a
get
really
in the
good player
Spurs
in there.
midfield at the minute.
Yeah, he probably would. To be fair, mate. Yeah. Well, I think I would. Like I say, I think there's a really good player in there, but he just needs to accept the fact that he's not at the level to get in Arsenal's midfield for where we want to be.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I do agree with that. I mean, like I said, we have got El Neni as well. They could even use him tomorrow. But it's looking a bit more positive now, which is good. I mean, even our run of fixtures after Brighton look quite favourable. I don't know what you guys think, but I think I think top 6 could be on the cards this season.
Yeah, and I think that's got to be our goal, really. I think we've got to aim for that top 6 sort of positioning. Anything less, like if we finish 7th or 8th again, then it doesn't show any improvement, if we're honest, does it?
No, like you said, the fixtures are. So we've got Brighton, obviously, tomorrow. The next game, obviously, we've got Palace at home, Villa at home, and then Leicester away. So them 3, Brighton, Palace, and Villa, all winnable games. 2 of them being at home, could set us up really well for, the running up towards the Christmas period, which I think we will find it hard in Christmas because we're going to lose a few players for the African Cup of Nations, and that'll be the deciding factor on how far we finish up the league, I think.
It'll be the early January fixtures, won't it?
Yeah. I know it's the same for a lot of clubs, but we're going to lose, obviously, El Neni, Partey, Pepe, Oba. There's a few people, key sort of personnel as well that we're losing, not just sort of squad players.
Yeah, and that is the worry. I mean, do you think they'll look at that in January and maybe look to strengthen, maybe get a couple of players in?
I think they'll look to, whether or not they're able to or not, it's a different matter, but I think they'll try to address it. I mean, I'm sure I read recently that Aziz and Nelson have got recall clauses in the loans.
Yeah, I read that, yeah.
So obviously there's contingency plans in place already, and then you've got Alex with Patina, Omari Harrison, is it?
Hutchinson, isn't it? Yeah.
So I think there's options within the club, but it's hard to replace people like Partey and Alba, if we're honest, isn't it? And even Pepe, I mean, when he's on the pitch, he gives 100%. He always offers something. He's always involved in goals. I mean, to have somebody like him potentially on the bench now after how well Smith-rowe and Saka did, I mean, that's a good place to be.
Yeah, it is. I think we'll probably struggle to recruit some players in January, to be honest with you. I mean, what you're going to say to them. Come to Arsenal because you'll get games in January, but after that, once the lads come back, you've got no chance.
Yeah.
And like you say, you can't really upgrade on Partey and Ober, and they're quality players. They're gonna, whoever we bring in will be second fiddle, won't they?
Yeah, because where we are at the minute, there's not many people that we could realistically sign that would improve on the players we've got.
No. Not unless you spend $100 million.
With the Xhaka injury, ruling him out until Christmas, do you think that makes us look quite light now in the midfield area? Because there is rumours that we could offer Jack Wilshere a pay-as-you-play deal. I have seen that on Twitter. And also, like I said, just promoting youth. But if Xhaka's injury doesn't go, the rehab doesn't go to plan, and he's a bit more longer than 3 months, and you've got him out as well. I think that's the only worry, really, isn't it? That we could be quite light in that centre midfield.
Yeah, there is a worry, but at the minute, we're all right. It's going to be like Tom says when the African nation comes along, because when we lose El Neni and Partey, you're literally left with Lokonga, Maitland-Niles, and that's it. That are in the squad at the minute. I know Smith-rowe and Odegaard have, and I suppose can play deeper, but it's probably not where you're going to get the best out of them. So there probably is a shout that we do need to try and do something in January, but we just have to see what happens, I guess. Hopefully, I did see that Xhaka was already back on the exercise bike this week, so hopefully he will be back within 3 months.
Yeah. So going back to tomorrow then, what are your score predictions then? I'm going to go for a 1-0 win. I think we've got it in us again to get another 1-0 win.
Yeah, I was going to say 1-0 to the Arsenal as well.
2-1.
To Brighton?
No. Yeah. A Neil Maupay double. 2-1 Arsenal. I think Brighton will score, but I think we'll have enough to beat them. It'll be a tough game. I think, like you said, Matt, it's probably going to be tougher than Spurs because they were all over the place, Spurs, whereas Brighton are a settled team that are on form, playing well, playing some good football. So I think it'll be tough, but I do think we'll win 2-1.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, just before we carry on, this rivalry that Brighton think that we'll have with them over Twitter, it's embarrassing, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't even consider anything close to a rivalry with Brighton. I've never even thought of them as rivals or anything close to that personally.
No, it's weird, Dan. Who would be their rival down there? Not Southampton, Portsmouth?
Portsmouth, Southampton, they're all fairly close. All not close, but they're all on that coast, aren't they?
If anything, you'd have thought Palace, because at least they're South London.
Yeah.
But to be fair, putting a poster out with Neil Maupay putting a crying face, saying Arsenal at home next, it's just a bit embarrassing, isn't it, trying to wind us up over the Guendouzi situation.
Yeah.
I didn't like that, to be honest. I think it's a bit petty.
Leave them to what they want to do. It doesn't bother me. I don't think it'll bother most Arsenal fans or the players. Just if they want to be like that, then all it's going to make them do is go down a bit in my estimation of them.
And just before we finish, did you watch the Marseille game yesterday?
Yeah, I've seen the bit. I've seen the. I think I know what you're going to say. I've seen that. Yeah.
The bit with Saliba got into a bit of trouble, and then Guendouzi's been having a bit of back and forth with who is it? Is it Patrick Van Aanholt?
I'm not sure who it is, but I've seen the footage, and the minute Saliba got into something, I thought, give it a couple of seconds. I can guarantee you Guendouzi will be straight over there. He loves a bit of controversy, doesn't he? Straight in there. His little smoggy head bouncing around. He's all over it.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up. But, Guendouzi back in the action again and then getting slated on Twitter as well about all he thinks is the Billy Big Bollocks. So that's quite interesting. And as well, I have read that players are finding it hard to train with him at Marseille. So I just wanted to bring that up.
This is why we don't want him at Arsenal, though, isn't it?
This is why we've said he's a plank, and talent is one thing. But if you're a disruptive sort of person in the dressing room and you're messing around with the team balance and the team ethic, you can be the most talented player on the planet. Get rid.
I don't think he'll be coming back now. But we had this.
I don't think we want him either. I mean, it just comes across as a bad apple, doesn't he?
Yeah, twat.
And as well, when we was on the coach, we discussed Saliba, didn't we? Matt, I think you said that you don't think he'll ever play for us. Was it you that said that, or was it Tom?
Yeah, what I said was I wouldn't be surprised if he never plays for us.
Yeah.
I mean,
I still think he should have took the the Newcastle loan or wherever it was.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that puts me off. I mean, why would he choose to go back to France where he's already semi-proved himself instead of trying to push himself with a loan to a Premier League club?
Yeah. It'll be a struggle for him to get in. I mean, he's a right-sided centre-back, isn't he? So the only person that can sort of knock out the team is Ben White, who we've just paid 50 million for. Now, I'm pretty sure Arteta and Edu, if they're paying 50 million for a centre-back, they're thinking he's going to be our centre-back for years to come, not to get knocked out the team.
And personally, if White's injured, I put Holding in there every day of the week.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think he'll find it. Unless he has some sort of barnstorming pre-season. I mean, how long will he have left on his contract?
It's a year after this one.
So after this one, he's got a year left. So really, it's decision time, isn't it? You either offer him another deal and say, look, you can fight for your place.
Try and recoup some of the bloody daft money we paid for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, what could you get for him? 10 million max, maybe?
Be lucky now.
That's what I mean. So you're better off offering him another contract and saying, look, come and fight for your place, or something like that. I don't know.
But with him choosing France again over the Premier League, I don't know if he's got it in him to fight for his place. But
yeah,
ultimately, we don't really know what the conversations were, do we? It's all speculation. But It is worrying that if he did get offered Newcastle and Marseille, that he chose to not try and learn the sort of the trade in the league he's meant to be staying in.
Yeah, he took the easy option, didn't he? Took the easy option, playing in the French league.
Just on a last note, are you looking forward to the international break after Brighton?
No.
What do you think?
No. I think it comes around too quick, mate. We've only just had one.
Yeah.
It just stops momentum, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And if we beat Brighton tomorrow and then there's an international break, it could be a big negative for us because it's hard to carry that momentum through that sort of break.
Yeah. And then you get players who'll pick up injuries, players get COVID on international duty, and it'll be even worse if FIFA get the way and we have a World Cup every 2 years. It'll be even worse. I'm not a fan of that at all.
No, I'm not.
There was a rumour, did you say, Matt, as well, that the Cup Winners' Cup might be coming back as well?
Yeah, I'm sure I've read recently that they're considering bringing back the Cup Winners' Cup instead of this Conference UEFA League.
Yeah, it'd be good. I mean, we'll talk about that as well just before we end the podcast. It's not very good, is it, that Europa Conference League?
I can't understand why it's there as a competition. I don't see what they're trying to achieve by having it there.
I mean, if it was the fact that teams from the top 5 leagues were in it, and it was a route for teams from air quotes lesser leagues to get into the UEFA Cup the next year, then that's fair enough. But why have English, Italian, Spanish, etc. teams in it? Because it sort of takes the point of it away.
Yeah, because one of them are clearly going to win it.
If you win that, is that a European? Like, do you class it as a European trophy?
Can't do.
Is that Arsenal's route to finally getting a European trophy?
I hope not. You can't class that as a European trophy.
It's not that. I don't think that's classed as a European trophy. I think it's very much like the Makita tournament or something like that. I think the Emirates Cup's more of a bloody trophy than that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tottenham played the other night a team that was founded in 2012. I mean, that just says it all, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Not long after Man City were founded there, to be fair.
yeah, it was around about then, wasn't it? When Sheikh Mansour took over. I think if you win that, you're going to be clutching at straws trying to claim it as a European trophy.
Yeah,
You really are.
it's a qualification tournament at best, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think it'll be compared to like when we won the Community Shield? We're not allowed to class that as a trophy. We're going that route.
Yeah, the European equivalent, isn't it?
Like, I mean, at least to getting the Community Shield, you've got to win one of the two major English trophies, the league or the FA Cup.
And 9 times out of 10, you have to play a decent team as well, because you're playing either the FA Cup winners or the champions of England, not some team that was founded in 2012 from outer Mongolia.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling we're going to go far in this Carabao Cup. I really do this season. I've got a feeling he's got his eye on it.
I think he should. I mean, given where we were at the start of the season and where we thought we were going to be at the end, I think why not try and win anything we can? It's all got to be a bonus. It's all going to give us that taste of winning and move the squad forward. So why not go for the Carabao Cup? I mean, Man City go for it every year, so it can't be that smaller cup.
Yeah, go for it. We've got no Europe. Let's go all out to win everything we enter. That's what I say.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have a Wembley day out, wouldn't it? If we did.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, definitely.
On the no brand bus.
Nah, mate, you can drive.
Tell you what, we need to get a flag for the back of that bus.
Yeah.
And we need to take a change of clothes as well, because a lot of people do that.
What's all that about? A change of clothes. I don't know what they were getting up to.
They took 2 though, because they went in summer, then got changed into the Arsenal gear, then got changed again.
Bizarre.
And then got changed back into the Arsenal top.
Yeah.
Too much effort for me. I just stick to the clothes I left the house in.
And your half and half scarf.
Right. Never. You'll never get an half and half scarf on me, ever. Even in my coffin, I'm not having that.
We're definitely going to put that in your coffin, though.
To be fair, Lewis will probably outlive us, so he will do it to us.
Yeah. It's only born in like 2004, wasn't he, or something like that?
He's nearly 18.
Definitely to Matt, I'm going to get a Tottenham half and half scarf. And we'll go from there.
Fucking hell.
But thank you for listening, people. We are going to come back after the Brighton game, discuss that and look at your journey international break and the 2 games coming up at home, Palace and Villa. So, thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate. See you later.